and welcome to the Homemade Podcast Sports. This is your host, J Pops.
And welcome back to the Homemade Podcast Sports with your host, J Pops. Guys, today's date is September 27th, 2021. Guys, we are officially 2 days removed from the Arkansas versus Texas A&M game. Guys, hey, it is what it is. Before I get started though, first and foremost, rest in peace to my dear aunt, to my dear aunt that passed away. My condolences are heavy. The funeral was today. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it because I have, work and stuff like that. But I love you. Once again, rest in peace to my dear aunt, Miss Patricia Crawford. She was one of my dear aunts that actually raised me, man. We all grew up on the same street. So she raised me. Once again, rest in peace. And hey, we will meet again when that time is right. All right. So guys, moving forward, man, like I say, man, hey, welcome back to the Homemade Podcast of Sports with your host, J Pops. Today is Monday. It is Monday. It is a beautiful day in the great city of Houston, Texas, people. Before I get started, go ahead and roll the clip. To all Arkansas fans out there, I just want you guys to hear this here. My apologies for saying that you guys wasn't going to win the game. I will admit that I was wrong. Because of the simple fact that, hey, Arkansas came to play. And I knew that you guys were going to show up and come to play. But I was totally wrong about my score predictions. I said 35-14 Texas A&M. Turns out, score went the other way around, 20-10. So it is much respect to the Arkansas football team, much respect to the Arkansas coaching staff. After a long 9-year drought, those guys have finally got one. After a good, I cannot say exactly how long we've been up there playing in Jerry World, but it's been for a long time. It's been for a really, really long time. Jerry can finally say that he got him one in Jerry World. With that being said, Arkansas owns Texas for this year. They own the state of Texas for this year. I'm sorry. Hey, man, to my Aggie family, I know you guys don't want to hear that. To Longhorn family, you guys definitely don't want to hear that. But they own the state of Texas right now, okay? They have beat the 2 premier programs in the state of Texas in the same year. I believe they said the last time that's been done was like around 1960 or something like that. But, hey, man, they've beaten both of those teams. It is what it is. Aggie fans, y'all know, man. Look, I'm still sad about it, but it's a loss that I can honestly take. To all the guys that came on here and commented, I told you guys that I was going to leave it open. It's no reason for me to shut down the comments at all. That's what I want you guys to do. Hey, I talk crap, and hey, you guys deserve every bit of and every right to come on in the podcast and say what you guys had to say. Once again, much respect to the Arkansas football team. Hey, good luck to your season going forward. I hope KJ Jefferson and Treylon Burks is okay. I do not actually know what is going on with their injury. But hey, man, I hope those guys are okay. And hey, good luck for the rest of the season. What I did not know is that you guys had Georgia niggas. So, hey, it is what it is. This Texas A&M ball club will continue to move along. All right, so on to Texas A&M. Aggie family, My Aggies. What I will say, man, what I will speak about the positives in this game is this here. They was able to hold Arkansas to only 20 points. At one point, the Texas A&M ball club was coming back. The score was 17-10 at one point, so we were down by just one possession. Isaiah Spiller can't do it on his own. He cannot do it on his own, man. He's the leader. And what I did like about this was that when those guys lost, I saw a couple of those guys come on to Twitter, like Demond Demons is one of them. He came back and he said, hey, man, trust me, y'all won't have to go through another feeling like that again. I believe in him. I believe in this football team as a whole. I believe in Isaiah Spiller, man. Isaiah Spiller had a couple of things to say, too. Now, what I did see was it looked like they had replayed the film. And I think when they replayed this film, when Isaiah Spiller got, I believe, blocked when the guy made the last-minute interception. He got blocked, or I don't know what happened right there. But I think they had threw a flag within the midst of everything, but the flag was called on Texas A&M for holding. So they had to run a call back. I'm not going to sit up here and say that's what cost us the game. I will not say that. However, that was technically a targeting call that should have been called, but it didn't, so it is what it is, man. Once again, I'm not going to say that that's what decided the game. What decided the football game was that our quarterback couldn't do anything. He could not do anything. Let me tell you the passing attempts that was in this game. 20 out of 36 for 151 yards and one interception. I would say it just like this here. If you're going to pass the ball 36 times, you cannot have 151 yards, no matter what kind of defense they was putting out there. I'm going to say it once again. You cannot pass the ball 20 out of 36 times and only have 151 yards. That is poor passing. I understand that the offensive line did not have their best day. They did not. Jameer Johnson did not. Oh, my. When NFL scouts put on the tape, they're going to single out this game in particular, and I know they are. They're going to single out this game where Jameer Johnson did not have his best day. It just looks like Jameer Head was not into the game at all. I'm going to say this one, too. Keon Green cannot do it by himself on the offensive line. You cannot have one man trying to wreck the entire defensive front. He cannot do it by himself, man. I still like Bryce Foster. I know a lot of people will come on, oh, man, what? I still like Bryce Foster. The problem and the issue with this offense right now, it's not necessarily the offensive scheme. It's the solidified positions on the offensive line. Nobody has a solidified position but these two young men here, Bryce Foster and Keon Green. I know it was a couple of injuries, like Leighton Robinson, I don't believe he played in this game, stuff like that. But once again, it's not a solidified position for these offensive linemen. Well, most of them right now. It's not a solidified position for three of them out there right now. Like I said, the only two that I can honestly say that has solidified their position, and Keon Green is one of them. He solidified his position way a long time ago. But Bryce Foster is the only freshman out there that has solidified his spot. Everybody else is still kind of just working and trying to see where they fit in at. Although that is happening, you can do some other things scheme-wise with it. It's going to come to a point to where we're going to have to run the ball a whole lot more, way more than what we may want to run it. But we're just going to have to take that on the chin right now. We're going to have to run that ball. They're going to have to run the ball. They have to use Isaiah Spiller and A-Chain way more than what they may want to use them right now. And speaking of that rushing attack, Arkansas was pretty dominant on the ground. I think they had about 197 rushing yards on the ground. Indeed, these are crazy stats to me. Because although Arkansas won the game by just, 20 points, their yardage speaks otherwise. They got about 400 plus yardage. Now, those 2 big passing plays that was given up on a defense, in which I'm going to question this here. I'm going to question my boy, Mike Elko, for this one. And I know it won't happen again, but I'm going to question him on this one. Why would you put Miles Jones on Treylon Burks? I honestly have to know why you would do that. Miles Jones was coming back from injury. You have to really put him on the second threat at that wide receiver. What I was looking for was Jalen Jones on Treylon Burks the entire game. I was honestly looking for that. Jalen Jones got 1 pass thrown on him that I know for sure that was a really tough catch. And I credit that guy for catching that ball. It was a back shoulder throw. And right when he turned around, the ball was already right there. So you can defend that all you want to, but if that throw is on the money and that wide receiver can make that catch, it's all credit to him. That is much respect. But I have no clue of why you don't have Jalen Jones on Treylon Burks the whole game. Wow. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it looked. That was the back shoulder catch that I was talking about. It's no way you can defend that no better than what Jalen Jones did. The guy just caught the ball on. But I can't believe that would happen. But like I say, man, crazy stats here. KJ Jefferson, in which KJ Jefferson must have heard me talking about. But KJ Jefferson had a total of 7 out of 15 passing attempts, 7 completions out of 15 for 215 yards, 215 yards or so, 2 touchdowns. 7 out of 15. That's a 50% completion rate. But what he did have, well, that's a little bit over 50%. But what he did have was 2 big passing plays that shouldn't have been given up in the first place. The second big passing play, I have no clue what happened right there. But, man, it was guys missing tackles. Then I saw Aaron Hansford. I think he bumped the guy up the field. I've never ever seen that before, but we cannot let that happen again, guys. Y'all cannot let that happen again. I love you guys enough to criticize just a little bit. But you can only criticize a little bit of what happened because that second half, they came back and they totally shut them out. They only gave up 3 points in the second half. At that point, though, now I don't know if our defense just shut them down, but from what I've seen, they did shut them down. Of course, yeah, KJ got hurt, stuff like that. Treylon Burks got hurt, stuff like that. But they shut them down enough to where that A&M offense should have been able to work itself. Should have been able to work its way back into there to tie up this ball game and go to overtime. Once again, this offense was just so out of sync, and I believe that Zach Calzada, man, Zach is my boy. I believe that Zach, he's starting to feel the pressure before the pressure even gets there. And that's what's really messing him up. And I will say this, man, you cannot have that much frustration out in your face on prime time like that. You can't have frustration, period. I know you're frustrated, but you cannot show the signs of frustration like that. I saw that all game. The frustration look on his face when the pass was either batted down or incomplete or they didn't get what they wanted. And he was just in, I mean, hey, the camera is going to catch everything. They showed it, man. You cannot be like that. I have so much confidence in you that it's crazy. And I had the same thing with Kellen Mond. It's tripping me out because it reminds me of Kellen Mond now. It reminds me of Kellen. What you cannot do, though, man, and like I say, I can't place everything on him is that you're going to have confidence in yourself, because from what I seen, you were starting to feel like you wasn't confident. You were starting to look like you didn't have confidence in yourself throwing the football. Barry Odom, hey, I was totally wrong about Barry, but then again, I did not say that Barry Odom was not a good defense coordinator. Now, who's better? I still believe that Mike Elko is better, but Barry Odom's scheme, he schemed it up, man, and it is what it is. He had the better scheme this game. He just had the better scheme. That's once again like who's the better coach out of Sam Pittman and Jimbo Fisher. I still believe that Jimbo Fisher is the better coach. Hey, he has the better record, of course, stuff like that. But Sam Pittman brings energy. And shout out to Sam Pittman. I love what that guy is doing. I would not knock that at all. But Sam had the better scheme, man. He had the better day. Jimbo just got out coached. But anywho, back to Zach Calzada. I can honestly see and say that Zach lost confidence in what he was doing. He did not believe in who he was throwing to. He didn't believe in his throws. And this is the thing that is going to get him. This thing that's going to get him. You have to trust the people that you have catching the football. Watermeyer has to wake up already. He has to wake up. And the thing about this is that I saw Watermeyer open on a couple of plays, man, but Zach just did not get the football to him. I saw Demas open on a couple of plays. He did not get the football to him. I saw a lot of guys open out here in which, like I say, man, Zach just felt the pressure before it even got there. He's reacting too quick. You're reacting too quick. You have to put it in your mind, man, that you got to trust your team. Although your O-line has not been, good up to this point, you have to trust your O-line will hold up for you. And when they do hold up for you, you can't already have it in your mind that you've gotten pressure before the pressure even gets there. Also, man, Zach has speed. You cannot take away the simple fact that Zach Calzada actually has speed. Zach has to use that. You got to use your dual threat ability. You were rated as a pocket pass. I know that, but you got to use the dual threat ability. Because like I say, man, looking at the stats of this game, Texas A&M could have tied up this football game if the offense was just clicking. Now this is primarily all on coaching, because coaching, which is the offense coordinator and Jimbo Fisher himself, he should have figured out some things coming out in the second half. And he figured it out coming out, in which Isaiah Spiller broke for a 65-yard run. Those are the things that Isaiah Spiller is just going to do. But once again, Isaiah Spiller cannot do it on his own. He can't do it on his own, man. He needs other people helping him. But if you have that monster already working his way up, you have to continue to feed that monster. At that point, if they were going to give up the run because of the simple fact that they weren't going to give up the pass, you got to continue to run, man. You have to continue to run. But then again, man, like I said, Zach has to trust in his receivers. He has to trust the simple fact that they can make the throw. But I can honestly say it was a lot of hesitating. He hesitated a lot, a whole lot. And you can't place that and you can't place that blame on the offensive line. Everything can't be put on the offensive line. I'm sorry. I'm not going to blame all of those kids for what happened. At some point, the QB has got to make the play. He's got to make it. That's what you're here for. You got picked to be, the backup to Haynes King for a reason. You know what I mean? So now the lights are bright. So what I'm noticing is that in these games on the big stage, we're only scoring 10 points. This is the second time in a row. No. This is the second time while being on the big stage that we've scored 10 points. Okay? We have Mississippi State next, so that's what we're going to focus on. It's no way in hell that we can continue to score 10 points, though. All right. I will make my predictions on that right now. And I hate to do this. Man. But until my guys show me something different, in which I know they will and they can, because my confidence hadn't went anywhere about this team. I went on record and said this team is going to go either undefeated or lose one game. I still stand by that. And I will stand by that until the season is over with. Okay? So they've already lost one game. This was to Arkansas. That team came in ready. They were hungry. And it was what it was. You just have to let that be in the rearview mirror. What they can do is build off of this, though. Got to build off of this loss. But anywho, my predictions for the Mississippi State game going forward. And this is what I will say. Because we're playing at home. And like I say, man, a lot of my A&M fans are going to agree with me. Then again, a lot of my A&M fans may give me criticism now. Because I know they are going to give me criticism now. And that's fine because I can take that. My score prediction for this Mississippi State game, 21-3. I'm going to say this once again, 21-3. You see how I've lowered the score now? But I believe that this team, they can score more points. They can score more points, man. I'm sorry. Y'all can talk about the offensive line all y'all want to. They can score more points. But Zach has to believe in himself. Zach has to believe in what he has, the receivers he have, and they have to just put it out there on the field. So what I mean by that is that Zach has to believe that his receiver is way better than the defender. All right, and I hear a lot of people say that, well, these receivers gotta learn how to get open. Well, they were getting open. I mean, what else do you want from them? They were getting open. It's just the ball wasn't coming their way. I've seen many guys just throw up their hands, hey, and the ball just wasn't coming to them. So I believe this team will bounce back, and they will bounce back in a big way. I will say this: we have moved down in rankings. They moved down to number 15. In which this is my first time you ever hear me say this. I honestly agree with that. I agree with that ranking. Move down number 15. You had a number 16 team beat you. Now they will take your spot. It's all about taking the next person's spot. So like I say, the Mississippi State game is next. But after that is the October 9th game. Everybody's already looking for it. So this is some breaking news here. October 9th will be a 7 p.m. game. I'll say it time and time again. I believe if you give them that 7 o'clock game, which is Texas A&M, if you give them that 7 o'clock, if you give them a nighttime game, in which I had already said anyway, excuse me, guys, but I already said that, if you give them a 7 p.m. game, a nighttime game, I like my chances. On it. Last time they played them at night, a couple of years ago. But that's crazy that they got a PM game though. But anywho, it ain't about that game, and I don't want it to make it sound like I'm looking already to that game, because I'm not. I want to see what they can actually do this next game against Mississippi State, in which who hasn't looked good lately. They have not looked good lately at all. So they have to come out with a mindset of wanting to beat Mississippi State and beat the heck out of them. Because understand this, when we say beat the heck out of the opponent, that's what we mean. Beat the heck out of them. Don't win close. Beat the heck out of them. But a win is a win. So we'll take that any day. But I'm expecting this team to come out against Mississippi State and dominate them. I expected them to come out this game here and dominate Arkansas. But like I say, hey man, it didn't happen. So much respect to them. I do look at the positives, man. There's a whole lot of positives in this game. That defense, it's nobody that can say anything about that defense. I'm sorry. They gave up 20 points. I understand that. But that wasn't the defensive fault of why we lost this football game. That's not on the defense. That is strictly on offense. That's why Jimbo Fisher has been hard on himself. And he's been hard on these kids as well. But I believe that this is a wake-up call. This is a real wake-up call as to, hey, man, It is no margin for error going forward. This is the SEC West. I told you guys before the season even started too, though, that the defenses are back in the SEC. And I believe a lot of you guys heard me, but a lot of you guys didn't hear me. So I'm going to say this once again for the people in the back and for the people that's just tuning in. The defenses are back in the SEC. Okay? The defenses are back around the country. Because what I will say is this. We believe, us as Aggies, fans and, as an Aggie family, we believe that Zach will get it right. We believe that Jimbo Fisher will get this thing right. All right? He will get this thing rolling. But I believe that loss was meant to happen because they needed that loss to reset everything in their minds. You have to have a reset button. The streak is over with. 11-0 is over with. The 9-game win streak against Arkansas is over with. Streak is over. You have to let that be. But they will come out, and I believe they will get it right, and we will move forward and handle a lot of issues, okay? But this is the thing about this program here. Because this Aggie fan base will continue to back their guys whenever they're in there. Understand this here. It's nobody that's going to boo Zach Calzada, okay? It's nobody that's going to boo him. Why? Because it's his team now. We know that. Go out there and do what you got to do. Because we could be like this team here, Oklahoma, in which somebody had to tell me that, man, they booed Spencer Rattler. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. I cannot believe what I'm hearing right now. I believe that's maybe the first time that Oklahoma has ever booed any of their players. I cannot believe that. So, this ain't got nothing to do with A&M and Arkansas, but I'm just telling you that hey, we know, hey, we're behind this man 100%. And this is going to only motivate him going forward because he know he has the people behind him. You have your crowd and you got your team behind him, okay? So they will pick it up and get it right, but could be like Oklahoma, which we're not. I can't believe they booed that man. Remind you guys, man, Spencer Rattler was a 5-star quarterback coming from out of high school that year. So you can. I just want all of my kids out there to know that you can't be a 5-star and still get booed. If you're at Oklahoma, I guess. But wow. Another thing is this here. Clemson lost. And I'm just giving you guys a couple updates. Clemson lost. They were also, I think, a 9-10 game winning streak against North Carolina State. The streak has been broken. The Clemson streak period has been broken. I have no clue what Dabo Swinney is going to do. But he's another one that has to get, hey, you got to get that straight. I told y'all this year was going to be a different year. You have to really bring your A game. These teams are a target. And until these kids realize that they have a target on their back, that's when they got to start playing at their best. Everybody's going to bring their A game. Okay? Everybody is going to bring their A game. It's no doubt about that. Also, North Carolina lost to Georgia Tech, a blowout, in blowout fashion. Can't believe what I'm seeing and hearing around this college football world. But then again, I can. Upsets are meant to happen. Oklahoma almost lost. 16-13. So, hey, man, like I say, a lot of people wanted people to score points because a lot of people just felt like this was a passing league now. I never believed in that. I never, ever believed that this was a passing league. Knew eventually these defenses was going to have to step up. So the thing now is that these defenses have schemed up the drawing boards and they've made it to where they can shut down these passing teams. And that's what you're primarily looking at right now. They're shutting down the passing teams and making teams go back to old school football. It's old school football in which the thing about Jimbo Fisher is that Jimbo Fisher has been ahead of his time for a very long time. Last year, I believe he was ahead of his time. Then again, I know the offensive line was there and stuff like that. But Jimbo was ahead of his time because he switched the team to a running team. They were ahead of their time. So now that's why I say I believe he's going to grab that and put that in this year's team and choose that to be the scheme going forward. You cannot be mad at that. You have to let these guys run the ball. You got to put your playmakers in the best situation possible and let them go and make plays. If you have Demas and I believe Jalen Preston, they were all on the field for this game. You have to let those guys go make plays for you. So once again, I believe they will get it right. We're still here. Aggie fan base hasn't went anywhere, but we have to look forward to this Mississippi State game. It's going to be a 7:00 game. Once again on SEC Network, I believe. So we're in prime time again. The thing about it is that nobody has given up on this team. If they're putting you on the big stage, they're putting you on the big stage for a reason. They have not given up. We have not given up. Nothing like that, man. We're here with you guys. You guys just got to put it out there, baby. You have too much talent. It's too much talent. So you have to start putting it together and you got to let it work for you. All right. Once again, I believe Jimbo Fisher will get it right. It's just a matter of when will he get it right and when will the team start clicking. They got to believe in him. They have to. Once again, guys, this is Homemade Podcast Sports with your host, Jay Pops. Please, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and shout out to the guy that came on the podcast and said, hey, man, the reason why you such and such is because look like a whole third grader set up the whole podcast and everything. Well, I just want to tell this guy this. I will have the same setup when you come back on here again. And there will be a third grader that will be set it up for me again. You want to know why? It's because I pay that third grader to come and set it up. So how you like that? But I thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, much respect to Arkansas and the football team. Please, guys, if you don't mind, look up this young man here from Wheatley High School in Houston, Texas. Chase Evans. He's the cornerback for Wheatley High School, but really all in all an athlete, okay? If you guys are listening, please go and look his name up, Chase Evans. He's from Wheatley High School. This is another one of my family members. Again, I told you I have a full roster of family members that play sports. But this is another one. He's a senior, Wheatley High School. Once again, he's more of like an athlete, okay? But he can play that corner position and as well as that running back position and the wide receiver, stuff like that. So please, if you don't mind going, look him up. And please get those scholarships rolling. All right, D1 schools where you at, get those scholarships rolling. Aggie where you at, get those scholarships rolling. All right. So once again, guys, Homemade Podcast Sports. I thank you guys for tuning in. These are my wife's candles. Please make sure you support. #IgMagazine.
Dope Sense.
And thank you guys for tuning in to the #Homemade Podcast Sports. Please, guys, subscribe to the YouTube page and also follow me on Twitter @JPops, on Instagram @JPops, and also on Facebook at #Homemade Podcast Sports. Thank you guys once again. #IgMagazine.